still haven't figured that out.
No,
There's a landing zone down there. We know that. Let's see if Ballard lets it land or gets a return. And we're underway. And it goes to Ballard about the 4-yard line. And he found a little avenue.
Yeah, Akron was offsides on the kickoff. Wonder if they'll just tack it on to the end of the run or try to make them kick again.
He got it out to the 28, which would be where they start, +5, if that's the case.
Offside, kicking team. That 5-yard penalty be added to the end of the run. First down, Ohio State.
A little too anxious down there on the bottom of the screen.
I know, but if you're going to be anxious for a kickoff, might as well make it the first one of the.
I'd say so too. So Will Howard, big smile on his face in the warm-ups, and as he's about to take his first official snap. 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line for the Buckeyes. The pitch, Travion Henderson got a big opening right away, picked up about 9 on his first carry. As we take a look at the Wayfair starting lineups, and we start with the quarterback that we've already talked about, and he is a threat to run, and he's got great wheels. That's one thing that Chip Kelly said, is there anything you didn't know about him? I didn't know he was this fast. Travion picked up 9, so 2nd down and a yard. 3 wideouts all go out with Tate, the top man. And they're going to throw it out, wide receiver screen, and the highly touted freshman drops his first one. Jeremiah Smith, incomplete.
I bet he hasn't dropped a pass since 7th grade. What do you want to do?
He hasn't dropped any in preseason, I know that.
I know.
And it hit him in the hands and then the face mask, and it brings up a 3rd down and short.
There'd have been some yards on that one, too.
Yeah, he was on his way, I think. Probably what he was thinking. He just forgot to take the ball along with him.
All right, first look at that offensive line. You know, a year ago, that's what the Buckeye fans wanted to see. Could we pick up these 3rd and shorts?
And now we got whistles, flags. Henderson wouldn't have gotten out of that carry.
Yep, they're going to move back 5 yards.
And that'll change.
False start. Offense number 4 was never set in the formation. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So the freshman drops one, and then
yeah, that's a bit on the quarterback too. You got to look to both sides of the formation, make sure that everybody's set. Oh, he went down late. Actually, that it was no doubt about it. That wasn't Jeremiah Smith.
Well, freshman
stood there for a while, then he put his hand down.
So 3rd down and 6 now. Empty backfield.
Now a chance for that Akron pass rush to get in there. Bring 5.
Howard throws in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Egbuka. Broken up nicely.
And Paul Lewis came off the edge. That was the hot receiver. Threw it to the right guy, but the Buckeye offense makes about 3 mistakes on the first 4 plays.
Brian McCoy was right there to
He
break
actually
it up.
got there early, did he not? That could have been a call of pass interference.
So it brings up a punting situation. McGuire to kick, rugby style.
Whoa, made a good catch on that one, too.
And they're going to have to let this one bounce and get out of the way. It's going to roll dead around the 22. And a little scuffle at the end of the play. So 58 seconds into the game, and as Gary said, about 3 mistakes by the Buckeyes after a 41-yard punt. Coach Moorhead and his quarterback, Ben Finley, as we take a look at the Wayfair starting lineups, and that is going to be Ben. Much traveled quarterback. A lot of quarterbacks travel a lot these days. Went to North Carolina State where his brother played, then Cal. Last season at California, a couple of starts, and now here in his 3rd school, running the show for the Zips of Akron. Off a play fake. Finley's going to run with it. Nice run out around the 28, and
That's going to be another penalty. Absolutely.
This is on Davison Robinson, and Finley's still down.
I think it's on Munoz, isn't it? Number 1.
Yeah, it was. And Bingison. No, got him with his back.
Yeah, but he was sliding. You got to give the quarterback, when he starts to start his slide, no reason to hit him like that.
After the play was over, Personal foul, late hit, defense with targeting, number 1. 15-yard penalty. The play is under further review.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to, personally don't think it's going to be targeted.
I don't either.
But I do agree with the penalty. Ever since Kenny Pickett made the fake slide, and they call it nowadays down,
right,
the defenders should know once they start the slide, it's a slide.
Gene Steratore is with us as he is every game. Gene, we got an early one for you.
Yeah, we do, Brad, and I think what they're really looking at is when that quarterback, as you has already said, starts that slide, by definition, he does become defenseless then. What they will look at now is the contact in the head-neck area as opposed with the crown of the helmet, because he's a defenseless player. If they deem that contact to be initiated to the head and neck, then they will keep the targeting on, and that's the shot we're looking at there. The hit is the shoulder in the shoulder pad of Ohio State player into the shoulder area of the quarterback and not his head and neck. That's what I'm sure they're looking at right now.
I almost thought he hit him with his back. It was so far into the slide.
To me, Genie scraped his head, but he hit his shoulder. You want to go with that?
I kind of feel that with you, Gary. We'll go ahead and get on a limb here on opening day and say that we think that's what it is. I felt the same thing, though, Gary. It looked to me like the initial force was a shoulder pad from the defender to the shoulder of the quarterback instead of the head and neck.
After reviewing the play, there was no contact to the runner's head and neck area. Therefore, there is no foul for targeting. However, the late hit will still be enforced 15 yards from the end of the run with an automatic first down.
You know, if anything, like a scrape to the head should be a quarter, not a whole game.
And one more angle. And so it is a personal foul, but no targeting. So it gives a first down to the Zips.
Yeah, Todd Bullock is in the game.
Yep. Second quarterback already in. We expected to see him, but maybe not this early. Flares it out in the flat. Simmons. Jordan Simmons, nice spin. Got out to the 47, maybe the 48. So, Gary, you were at practice the other day, and you saw both these guys.
I did. Taj is a very talented athlete. He's still learning how to play quarterback, transfer from Virginia Tech. And as Joe Moorhead said, the competition was closer than I thought throughout the spring and the fall.
I asked him that last night, and he said, yeah, Taj pushed it to the limit. Ben won it for his leadership, and they made him a captain. But now, on the first series, it's already Taj's game to play at this point.
So what I'm thinking is perhaps the medical people are holding out Finley, until because it wasn't hitting that area to make sure he's 100% if he's going to come back in.
There's a Wayfair lineup up front for the Zips in the offensive line. Simmons, who's already carried a transfer from Michigan State. The wide receivers. And now they face a third down and 2. A year ago, they were 111th in the country in third down conversions. They're obviously hoping to improve that starting today. Third down and 2. Tight end goes under center momentarily. And now Taj just throws one out to the tight end, Newell, and Jake Newell's got a first down.
Joe Moorhead crafted a really nice play right there. And it is Finley's going to go in and have to be checked out. I've no doubt about it. Now remember Akron is down to one quarterback that they really trained for this game. How much do you run Bullock? He's their best running quarterback, but if he's the only one, you wonder if you want to let those Buckeye players tee off on your only quarterback.
So on the first series, Ben is headed to the locker room. Taj Bullock running the show with a 12-yard completion to his tight end in the first down, and now he'll run it here.
Yeah, there we go with that theory.
Well, picked up 3 as we take a look at the Buckeyes defensively.
Made sense as I started it, though.
Yeah, that's true. What a combo bookend defensive ends. Tui Maloa and Sawyer. Sonny Styles is playing the middle linebacker. That would have been Cody Simon, who's not playing today. So he's wearing the coach-to-player communication. But they practiced that in case of a situation where one guy couldn't start and the other guy played. High snap again. And now Bullock on the run. He's got a first down. He's got more. He buries his head.
Yeah, I thought Sawyer was going to get a hand on him and pull him down. But that's the athleticism of Taj Bullock right there. Watch coming. Cleanly beats the tackle on the play, but good athletic quarterback gets him the secondary.
Denzel Burke was the guy that was on the end of that 12-yard pickup.
Remember, even though Todd Bullock is inexperienced, he gets the coach in his helmet all the way down to 15 seconds on the play clock. So Joe Moorhead, with a lot of experience, is able to help him out.
First down. High snap, this one too high. Bullock's got to chase it down and cover it.
Right.
Well, that's the third high snap in a row.
It was. Now, you don't blame him. I'm not at all blaming him for falling on it because it looks easy up here. But it was a pass play. He could have thrown it away and saved the yardage on that play. Goes just shoots by him. And I thought he could have easily thrown it because it was a pass play.
He said, you don't have Tui Malone. Sawyer chasing.
I know. I did it. The perfect chess move,
So now they had things moving toward the red zone, and now they're backed up to second down and 24. A loss of 14.
Remember, Akron's playing with a new center in this game. Tyler Williams is out. They've had to switch around.
They moved their guard over to center. This time he got it there clean, but here comes the rush, and there it goes. Tui Malone with his first sack of the season after 7 a year ago.
And that's what Jim Knowles challenged both Sawyer and Tui Malone. Can you win one-on-one? I mean, I can't scheme you all the time, but can you get in there this time, face Dane Shore, and pretty easy.
All-American, and here he comes from the backside. And that has ignited the crowd and sent the Zips back to third down at 28. They're going the wrong direction after a couple first downs. That snaps high again. Bullock, screen pass out in the flat. Breaking tackles. Bobby Golden got some of that back, and he got it to the 31-yard line. And now it's decision time on whether they try a field goal. They thought that maybe a 42-yard field goal would be the best length for their guy, 42 and in. So they're outside of that right now.
Caleb Downs, the transfer from Alabama, the All-SEC leading tackler in the SEC, leading tackler for Bama, missed that tackle. Might have got him in the zone to kick a field goal, those extra 4 or 5 yards.
Well, Garrison Smith's going to try one from 48. So the coach said 42 and in, we're comfortable. Outside of that, maybe not so much. Let's see if Garrison has something to say about it. From 48 yards away. Yes, he does have something to say about it. The Zips take the lead on their opening possession, even though they lost their starting quarterback. The number 2 let them down. Then they lost some yardage. They didn't look very good on that opening play.
Yeah, well, when you consider, they get the kickoff, and they're still behind by 3 points. I mean, they've made the mistakes, and right now, Akron is going, man, we were worried, but we can compete with these guys.
Right, so far. And, of course, the big story, Akron losing their starting quarterback on this play. Nosen coming in, and it was not targeting, but it was a personal foul, and that led to the backup quarterback, Taj Bullock, coming in and leading them down on a 47-yard drive, 10 plays, a little over 5 minutes, and they got a career-long field goal from Garrison Smith. And the Buckeyes will get it for the second time. Jaden Ballard waits on Dante Jackson's kick. This one off the side of his foot. This might make the sideline. Nope, he caught it on the fly, and it'll bring it out to 25. Ohio State, let's take a look at their offense. We haven't had a chance. We've had a lot of things going on here offensively. The 2 Joshes on the edges, Fryer and Simmons, and Seth McLaughlin, the transfer center from Alabama. Quarterback, wide receivers, I should say, and running backs. Egbuka, the leader of the group. Jeremiah Smith, the freshman's already made a drop and a penalty. And they opened up in a 2 tight end set of Kazmarek and Scott. So here's their second offensive possession. And now Quinshon Judkins, the transfer from Ole Miss, in the backfield with Will Howard. First down at the 25. Quinshon on the play fake, and the throw is incomplete.
Dropped again. Could have been caught.
That was Carnell Tate. The defense for the Zips. Gary talked about their front 4. Defensively, got an all-MAC player in C.J. Nunley. Brian McCoy in the second level at linebacker. Their 2-time captain and leading tackler, Darian Lewis, the leader, the veteran of their secondary. Second down and 10. Howard Looks across the middle, and it's broken up again. Incomplete. Intended for Judkins. And the defensive staff of Akron, led by their defensive coordinator.
That's Tim Tibesar right there. Came from Oregon State, so he's familiar with the Chip Kelly offense at UCLA. Also was the defensive coordinator at Purdue back when Urban Meyer was running this Ohio State deal.
He's liking what his team has done here in the first
they're pretty
6.5 minutes.
That front six, they're pretty tough.
3rd down and 10 for the Buckeyes. Howard has time, fires a strike, and that one is caught by Jeremiah Smith. His first reception, and that draws applause from the crowd, knowing that he is the #1 recruit a year ago.
You know, apropos, you go to the button hook here.
Yeah, that's right.
At Ohio State. Been running the button hook here since 1940.
Even Woody ran that.
Yeah, Chip Kelly with his newfangled offense, and everybody that's ever watched a game here that's with age has gone, I've seen that play before.
We told you that last time these two teams met, Ohio State won 59-7, but Akron actually had the lead 7-0. So they have the lead here too, 3-0. First down for the Buckeyes. Judkins. And only got about a yard. Nice job getting over there defensively as Bruno Dahl made the stop.
Yeah, you do a good job here. You crease sideways. You create a little bit of nowhere to cut back. See, nowhere to cut back. Seth McLaughlin does a good job on him, but he pushes him far enough that he has nowhere to go. Good job by the nose tackle.
2nd down and 10 from the 37. Howard rolls to throw.
Nice.
And a strike.
Nice throw.
Complete. Agbuka with his first catch.
I'll tell you, Will Howard has been on target for all of his passes so far.
Pick up a 19 this time.
You know, the question was, we know Will Howard can run. He can run the quarterback keep. Can he feed the ball to these wide receivers? Yes, he can.
And Emeka got open good enough that he put it right on him.
He's put them all on him so far, hasn't he? I like the way they're throwing it, too. They're just not sitting them in the pocket. They're making this Akron team defend the edges with the quarterback as well.
Their first play in Akron territory. And Judkins got about a hard yard and a half.
Yeah, I think it was 54 Murphy again that made the good play inside.
P1 Murphy.
Winning those one-on-ones. One of the things that Joe Moore had talked to his players about is, listen, if you're interested in playing in the NFL, putting some tape on against Ohio State wouldn't be a bad tape to show what you can do.
So far past the midway point of the first quarter, and the Zips in front. 2nd down and 9 for the Buckeyes from the 43, and now there's a keeper by Howard with a lead block of Judkins, and he falls near a first down. This was more of a Kansas State type of play.
It is. So that kind of also think back to when Ohio State had that running game going a little bit with J.T. Barrett, okay? I don't think he's in the Justin Fields speed or the Braxton Miller speed. I know he's got that long speed. Those guys were quicker. But I think back to that J.T. Barrett offense when that quarterback kept the defense just off balance enough to make that running game tough to stop.
And we've got a timeout. As Brian McCoy, a little bit shaken up, captain, but we'll see if Brian McCoy can come back in. Ryan Day and Chip Kelly, they go back a long ways. I mean a long ways. They've worked together for years. Chip was Ryan Day's offensive coordinator at the University of New Hampshire as we take a look at Do Project Smarter presented by the Home Depot. And you build a relationship at the Home Depot like this. You go back and you're OC and you're the quarterback. Look at Ryan without the beard. 98 to 2001, they joined forces in college. Ryan said, I threw 65 passes in one game when Chip was there.
Yeah, they were both reminiscent those games back there when we were talking to him.
And they went on to the NFL, quarterback coach for the Eagles when Chip was there, and then as head coach 49ers, same position. And now they flip-flop. And Ryan Day's the boss, and Chip's calling the plays.
First time he's been in the booth since
2008. 3rd down and 1 as a quarterback keeper. It was going to be close.
That was the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback sneak right there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Let's take a look right down the line. Darian Lewis comes in there from the secondary, but they didn't need much, and their quarterback's 6'5", and that should be enough. But they hung in there. Everybody was bunched up. First down. And there is Ben Finley back on the bench at least. Whether or not he's going to come back in the lineup, we'll have to wait and see the next time they get a ball.
I would think that that's good news if you have a chance.
Yeah, otherwise you'd probably be in a locker room.
And you wouldn't have your helmet, I don't think, either.
That's true. First down. Howard fires, completes. Nice pitch and catch to Carnell Tate as we get out of Jenny.
What we saw in that opening series, if starting quarterback Ben Finley went down, it looked like he sustained an upper left shoulder injury. He headed into the locker room after spending 2 minutes in the injury tent. Back out on the bench right now. I'm told he is good to go, guys. And just so you know, he grabbed his helmet before he even went into the locker room.
Took it with him.
Smart guy.
Yeah, very smart guy. Second down at 4. And Quinshon Judkins, boy, nice penetration.
Solid defense, solid defense.
That was C.J. Nunley again.
It was. He's a difference maker. C.J. Nunley, number 19 for Akron, playing that edge, tough to block, rangy. And right here, watch him bury himself in there, beat the block, gets in, holds him off, holds off Josh Fryer just enough, throws him away. That's exactly what you do. You get your arms out, you extend, you peek around, and when the ball carries there, throw him away and make the tackle.
Really nice play. Third down at 4. Buckeyes just inside the Zips 29-yard line. Empty backfield. Howard sidesteps the first man. Now throws on the run and throws a strike again. And this time Jeremiah Smith has a first down at the 20.
So Buckeye fans are worried about that pass protection. This time Josh Fryer is matched up again against Nunley. Athletic player. Actually, I don't know what they were doing there that time. They had 2 players to the outside. Looked just like a base front. 4-2. I wonder if that wasn't a mistake by Ohio State's protection.
Buckeyes right at the 20-yard line. Going to the end zone. And out of bounds, Emeka Egbuka. Nice play over there by Delonte Golden Nelson to stay with him and kind of hip check him out of bounds.
Yep. Got to get something inbounds first. Ooh. Does his hand come down?
Oh boy.
Yeah, they might look at this. I thought his right hand came down.
Yeah, so fans are seeing that, and that's what it looks like right there before anything else.
And maybe his whole forearm might have come down. I wonder what Gene thinks of this.
The ruling on the field on the previous play was that the runner came down out of bounds. Therefore, the pass was incomplete. That ruling is under further review.
He might have got his whole forearm down.
Gene, what do you think?
In my opinion, guys, I've got that forearm down, not just that hand posting. I think that wrist breaks, that forearm hits inbounds. To me, that looks like a good body part that would put a player down on the field and give him a touchdown. Right here, you see that wrist, and now that keeps him up. But at this point, does that forearm that's above the wrist land in the end zone prior to that foot hitting out of bounds?
Gene, just for clarification, if it was just his hand, that wouldn't count. It needed to be a body part more than his hand.
Yes, Gary, just like if he were running and he used that hand to keep himself off the ground, right?
Correct.
So, yeah, that would keep him up. But as we watch this great angle here and see, now does that wrist roll into the bottom of his forearm? And in my opinion, I think it is. It's really, really tight.
Tim O'Day under the cover there.
By the way, these calls are also being sent to the Big Ten office. They're collaborating.
In Rosemont, Illinois, where the headquarters for all of these kind of plays is. Well, I don't see any shadow land until his elbow's down.
Yeah, you wonder, the call was called out. Is it enough to overturn? I mean, we're thinking his wrist came down. I think it did.
I agree with you, though, the first time. I think his whole elbow's down.
Yeah.
Still looking. It's either an incomplete pass
like
and stands or it's a 20-yard touchdown.
I feel like it's early in the season. I'm 1 for 1. I got a streak going.
Oh, boy. It is really early for you to say that. You've got a long way to go, man.
After reviewing the play, when the ball carrier came down, the ball moved and did not maintain possession. Therefore, the call of incomplete stands as called.
Okay.
We got to look take one more look at it.
I didn't see that either. I thought he had it the whole
Maybe
time.
we were zeroing in too much on his arm. Let's look at the football.
Okay, he's got it in his left hand. His right hand's about ready to come over. Right there. Well, I don't know.
I don't agree with that.
I don't either.
I don't want to get a letter from Rosemont.
13th play of the drive. At any rate, second down and 10.
I mumbled that so nobody would hear it.
I know. I heard you. Quinshon Judkins carrying the pack with him for about 4. Darian Lewis will bring him down.
I'll tell you, Quinshon has seen nothing. There's no space when he's carried the ball at all.
So at the 3-minute mark, if you would have told Joe Moorhead you're going to have the lead with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, he said take it right now. That could change momentarily. We'll see. Only 24 rushing yards so far for the Buckeyes. Third down and 6.
6-man rush.
Will Howard to the corner. Smith got it. Touchdown. His first. And the first of the season for Ohio State.
I tell you, Will Howard is on fire. He has not had a bad throw all game. This is decent coverage by Joey Hunter. He's got a man-to-man out to the outside right here. Bump and run, they're bringing 6. He knows he's got a great athlete, man-to-man, almost a back shoulder throw. I mean, that's one of those, if he comes to the bench and the Akron coaches go, I mean, you're kind of playing against a future pro. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Well, so number 4's got his first touchdown catch as a Buckeye of what will be many, I'm sure. Brian Hartline, the receivers coach, giving a big hug over there. And after dropping one in the first series and then a penalty on the first series.
Yeah, he made up for it.
He did. And that was a pretty throw, too, by Will Howard.
He hasn't had a bad throw all game.
16-yard touchdown toss. And Jaden Fielding in for the point after. And extra points. Up and good.
Toughest part about playing ball.
And streaming on Paramount Plus.
But the lineup changes very well.
The lineup changes. A couple of tall guys, JJ and Matt.
Yes.
Well, Ben Finley's got his chin strap snap, Garrett.
Yeah, that's important because there's another part of this offense that we haven't seen yet that Akron's going to show Ohio State. And we'll tell you when we see it.
Okay.
I keep a secret.
I know. That's a great tease. Fielding set to kick off. Bobby Golden.
Let me just see it. They need number 10 to do it.
Okay. Jordan Castleberry waiting on the kickoff. And they'll let that one go out of the back of the end zone. Bring it out to the 25-yard line. Their first drive after Ohio State kind of sputtered on their drive. Finley on this scramble hit. And headed to the 10, as Jenny told you, and subsequently to the locker room. And Bullock took over, and Taj did it with his feet and a couple of short passes. And even though they had some penalties, they capped off a 47-yard drive in 10 plays with Garrison Smith's 48-yard field goal. So that's where we are, and Ben Finley's back on the field.
And so is number 12.
So this is what you were going to say. That to have both quarterbacks on the field.
That's the little winkle they got.
Oh, there they fake it to Bullock, and they throw it out in the flat to Kellum. And Kellum some positive yardage.
Really want to thank Akron for letting me come in there on Wednesday, a big work day. Impossible not to see this. They just asked me to keep it quiet.
And you did a really good job.
Yeah.
And they did a pretty good job on picking up 9 yards on our AT&T pylon cam. Bring up second down at short. About a yard to go from the 34-yard line. Finley in the shotgun. Quick throw on the flat. It's to Bullock. Taj Bullock.
It was a nice catch because that was a pretty good chuck there. He kind of put some mustard. He did. That's one of those, that one, if you don't throw that completely accurately, there's no time for the receiver to adjust it. He zipped it, and boom, got it.
And that's no pun, the zip part.
I got it.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that was good.
That's nice throw and catch and a first down again. So Akron moving the ball on Ohio State's vaunted defense.
And remember the last drive had that bad snap that really was the one that got him behind the chains, too. Tight bunch.
And now Bullock reverses field to throw.
See?
And you got two quarterbacks playing pretty good together here. Charles Kellum on the receiving end of that one.
We've seen three plays of the package, right?
How many plays in the package do they have?
More than 3. Look at this little bootleg off the handoff. Boom. What is Finley? Nothing. That's the problem. When you're the other quarterback, you go, all right, now what do I do?
Okay, Taj goes out now. We're going to be down to one quarterback here on this snap. Time of possession virtually even. Ohio State 17 plays. This will be the 13th for Akron. Here comes the blitz. Picked up and then not picked up.
Yeah, that was C.J. Hicks that time.
They had him momentarily, but C.J. blasted through it, and he gets to the quarterback.
Blocko Cody Simon could not play number 30. Usually 0 this year. He's not playing. C.J. Hicks and Sonny Styles are the two quarter linebackers, and this time
that's right.
You can't go low. No. You can't go low like that.
Yeah.
They'll run right by you.
Kellum did, and Hicks ran right over the top of him.
I had an old coach. That's called a shoe duster. You're not going to get away with that one.
Loss of 8.
Good linebacker will just push his hands down and take you away, and you are done.
It's a long conversion here. 3rd down and 15 from their own 34. Finley plants his foot, throws it out, and that one's too far in front of Kellum, incomplete, and they will have to punt it away.
Yeah, that time Kenyatta Jackson and Mitchell Melton, number 17 and 97, the number 2 defensive ends were in there applying the pressure. You know you got the clock all week, and actually they got Sawyer inside at the defensive tackle spot, so that's kind of their hybrid rush in long distance. But as a quarterback coming to this game, you know all week had been get it out of your hand, get it out of your hand. If we get 3rd and long, let's not have a disaster.
Their first incomplete pass forces a punt with 14 seconds to go. Avery Book. And he'll kick it with the left foot, and this one goes out of bounds way up at the, let's wait and see, 41-yard line. Not a good kick. He slipped a little bit.
Yeah, maybe he should have used his right.
So that we could finish the quarter.
Next, just looking at the stats, Travion Henderson only has 1 carry so far. Wouldn't be surprised they don't try to feed him the ball a little bit here.
As Gary said, Will Howard has been hot 5 out of his last 6. Here is Travion Henderson, and there goes Travion Henderson. A first down run. Pick up about 15 before Darian Lewis knocked him out of bounds.
This is just smart play.
Your starting quarterback goes down in the first series. We saw him come in at the end there. How has the game plan changed, if at all?
Yeah, they rolled him healthy and able to play, so that was good. Taj did a great job during the week preparing for the 2 QB stuff in addition to the backup quarterback role. We've been fortunate to move the ball a little bit. Can't have snaps over the head. Can't blow assignments. Got to protect a little bit better. And the defense is fighting their tails off. So, just like we said before the game, we just keep, one play at a time and move on to the next one.
Control what you can control. Thank you, Coach.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Jen.
Quite control. Emeka Ibuka on that 16-yard pass pickup from Will Howard.
Yeah, that was one of those RPOs from Chip Kelly. Almost invented the offense. Got it out there. If you're going to play one-on-one and play off 10 yards, why not give it to him?
First down at the zip 30. Plenty of time for Howard this time. His line holds up. Now he's got to scramble backward. He's just going to get rid of this thing. He'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Joey Hunter was putting some heat on him. Had early time, though. Plenty of time. It's just a nice coverage by the Zips.
Yeah, this offensive line has been hearing about their lack of championship material since the Missouri Bowl game. They added Seth McLaughlin, did a nice job in the middle, number 656. They've inserted Tegra Shabula. Try that. Shabula at right guard.
He's a big guy.
In that spot. Yeah, 325 pounds. Good job on that one. Plenty of time, good coverage.
Straight ahead on the run. Travion picks up about 3 as we take a look at the first quarter numbers. Total yardage, Ohio State with 97 on 18 plays. 6 first downs to 4 for Akron. You know it's going to come a time when number 32 is going to get to the 2nd level, and then it's going to be goodbye. But here it looks like a passing situation for Will Howard. Nope, it's going to be Henderson. And he didn't break anything. Got about 2.
Tackling machine, Ryan McCoy, number 40.
Good to see him back in there.
Yeah,
Shaking up earlier.
So quick. veteran player, has seen a lot of football. He just attacked that. He was in the backfield. Nowhere for Henderson to go, and watch the good tackle. Wrap him up, pull him, and then a cleanup by your friends that time.
Fish and McCoy, two really good linebackers.
Yeah, I wonder with that run play right there, if they were thinking about going for it on 4th down. They didn't gain a lot, though.
Well, right now they got the offense out there at the 25-yard line on a 4th down at 5.
Could be an opportunity to try to draw Akron off sides. I'll tell you, McCoy went out, looked like he was hurt on the play.
Well, he's been shaken up a couple of times because he keeps rocking guys making tackles. 4th and 5, and they are going to go for it. Howard throws wide side. Nice hit. Incomplete. Nice play by Amon Greenwood.
Yes, tried to do a little rub on the play to get it outside, Mekabuka, but the tackle came. I'll tell you what, even if it would not have coughed it up, no pick, and even if it wouldn't have, it would not have been for a 1st down.
And Emeka's going to feel that for a while, too. This is a great hit, great timing on the hit, and the Zips are going to take over on downs.
Hate those plays where you're
forced to 4th down, stop, and take over the 25-yard line. Finley on the give. Going to be a loss of a couple on the carry by Jordan Simmons. Ransom came up for the secondary to make the hit. So it's 2nd down and 12. Both quarterbacks have played. Both quarterbacks are in there right now. Hasn't been a lot of wide receiver action today on the passing game so far. There's Taj Bullock. There's Ben Finley. Only a couple of yards apart. And now he's trying to move Taj behind him. Pumps it to him. And now fires sidearm and throws a strike, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Burke. Boy, I thought the receiver had it, and Burke just snatched it away from him.
I mean, it was a good throw. It was a quick throw. It was thrown very sharply. Adrian Norton, number 15, breaks out. Yeah, stole it from him.
He took it out of his hands.
Yep. I don't even know if that's an interception. Did he have possession? And then is that? No, he didn't. He dropped the ball. That's how he got it.
That's a steal, not an interception.
I think it is an interception, though, because he never had possession of it, Ness.
Right.
I think they're going to call that an interception. And that was one of the things that Ohio State wanted to do a better job of.
More turnovers.
Turnovers. They were bad last year. Forced turnovers. I don't think on that play that Norton even had it. So I think Burke is going to get an INT.
All Big Ten performer, making his 36th start and making an impact, as that gives it back to the Buckeyes at the Akron 33-yard line. Travion Henderson broke one tackle, broke a second, picks up 11 and another Buckeye 1st down.
Yeah, that looks like how Archie Griffin used to run. You think you got him. His feet used to shift so quick. You go for his legs, they're not there anymore. Watch this. One guy's got a shot, boom, he's gone.
Pickup of 11 now. Howard thrown out, trying to get to Henderson. Nice job defensively by Greenwood again.
Yeah, another kind of a pick play that didn't work that time. Jeremiah Smith was trying to prick that time, and it didn't work again. Watch number 4 come inside for Innis. Didn't happen, and you beat the pick. No play.
So a 2nd down and 10. Quinshon Judkins now comes in at the tailback spot, number 1.
Let's see if they bring pressure. Nope.
Howard stands tall, down the middle, just over the outstretched arms of intended receiver Wills Kazmarek, the tight end.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was on that one. Defensive coordinator Tibisar blitzed last time. He played man-to-man coverage. Pretty good matchup. Get your safety on a tight end. Had to be a perfect throw. It was not.
I think if Will would have let that one go just a half second sooner, it's a completion.
You know, I do, but I still thought it was a pretty good coverage.
No, it was, definitely. 3 wideouts to the right. Judkins will flop over to the right of Will Howard, who rolls that way. Wanted to throw that way, now comes back and fires to the end zone and out of bounds.
Well, that's when you have a big quarterback. Chip Kelly said, you know, he's got a little bit, you know, of a Ben Roethlisberger feel. Big body, hard to pull down with one hand. This time, two guys have a shot at him. One, two, neither one of them is able to get him, throws it away, get the field goal try.
Last time when they had a fourth down, they decided to go for it. Not this time. They'll try a 40-yard field goal. Jaden Fielding was good last year, 16 out of 20.
Another win for that Akron defense.
No doubt.
Right? Was that the fourth possession? They've got 3 stops, just 1 touchdown. That's good defense.
So Fielding from 40. And he's got it. So Ohio State has to settle for 3. Wedding.
Cannot believe it.
I mean, well, to their families, we send from CBS our condolences.
Absolutely.
Terrible.
Terrible story.
Bobby Golden's going to let this go into the end zone. Zips will come out to the 25-yard line with another offensive possession. Earlier in the week, you and I were talking, and I said, okay, what's Akron got to do? They're, you know, a big-time underdog against the number 2 team in the country. You came up with this cool analogy, and you shared it with Coach Moorhead last night. Give it to us.
And he kind of liked it.
He did. I think he was going to use it with the team.
I said, Coach, instead of looking at it as one game and trying to beat, you know, this Ohio State team, why don't we just wash away each quarter like a set in tennis? You know, if you get beat 6-1 in the first set, set it away. Let's start over. You're basically going to play 4 games against Ohio State. Can you win 1 out of the 4?
Hey, 10-3 with 11:23 to go in the half.
Specifically on this drive, though, the defense has been out there a lot. Plays are starting to mount up against the defense. I know you want to score. Just as important, that defense needs a rest. A couple, 2 or 3 first downs for Akron right now will really help in this football game.
We saw a little more 2-quarterback twist there and an option from Finley to Bullock.
It does feel like Ohio State are finding their sea legs here, doesn't it, on defense?
A little bit better than they were earlier,
yes,
for sure. Tuimoloau is the guy that made the stop on Bullock. No gain on that play, so 2nd down and 10. Finley in the gun. Here comes a blitz. They're trying to run through it, and they will not be able to. Only about a yard gain as the Ohio State defense closes in on that. In 1894, Bucktel College later became Akron. They beat Ohio State 12-6. Back to the turn of the 19th century. Bucktel's head coach at the time, John Heisman. Seemed like he coached everywhere. Echo College coach in 93 and 94. That's 1893 and 94. Coach Heisman made the rounds, man. And now he's got a trophy. And Archie Griffin's got 2 of them. And Archie will be with us later in the game. 3rd down and 8. Still trying to get something to their wide receivers, or maybe their tight end Jake Newell, who just was in motion and set up on the left side. Finley has to step away from pressure and can't get away from it, and down he goes. And this one's going to be Caleb Downs.
It is, but JT Tuimoloau is actually the one that put the pressure and forced Finley to move up in the pocket. Watch JT come from the outside. He's playing that 9 defensive end position. He runs, he powers, and that really forces Finley inside and cleaned up by Caleb Downs.
Yeah, we're going to give JT part of that sack.
Absolutely.
And Caleb the other half, and it forces a punt. Should be good field position as Brandon Ennis, if he can get his hands on this Avery Book kick. 3rd sack of the day for the Buckeyes defense. Book only had a 25-yarder on the first attempt.
Well, that one worked.
And that's going to take a great bounce. Ennis got it at about the 19, had to go back 10 yards to get ahead of steam going forward. And probably got about a 6-yard return on it.
I'm telling you, Ennis made a great play on that one.
That could have gone all the way to one.
Absolutely. He was running full speed, going away from the punt, and he actually caught that in a full stride and ended up making about a 20-yard play on it. Watch this play. Boom. He's on the 15. It could have gone down to the 5.
60-yard punt, 7. Thanks. Here it is 10-3. Ohio State, 9-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. Ohio Stadium, the home of the Buckeyes for the 102nd year. So it was a couple of drops early. Then Will Howard got super hot, including a 16-yard touchdown pass, and now he's missed his last 4. And this is Quinshon Judkins out to the 30-yard line. Akron's defense has been good today, Gary.
They really have. I mean, let's give them a lot of credit. They were moving. We talked about their front six are the strength of their team, athletic. Their linebackers, a lot of experience. They have been playing tough, getting away from blocks. A good start for them in this game.
Buka's got a first down on a quick throw and catch. Here's some more of that defense led by Brian McCoy and company. And they have made it tough on the Buckeyes.
Yep, got inside that pick pass. 2 pick passes kind of did not work. It is not, I don't think, bad throws. I haven't seen really a bad throw from Will Howard all game.
Had a couple of drops in there.
He had to throw a couple away, you know, a couple batted down.
First down here at the 41. Quinshawn, big opening off the left side. And Junkins goes for 12 or 13 before Paul Lewis brings him down.
You're seeing what the Southeastern Conference saw for 2 years. Getting into space, quick feet, great power.
Quinshawn, 2,700 plus yards and 31 touchdowns in those 2 years at Ole Miss before the transfer
on the field
in here.
For a defensive injury.
And we got a guy down. And that is Nathan Kapongo, a defensive tackle.
Kapongo is one of those 4 inside guys they're counting on.
Kapongo, senior, 285-pounder. And going to head to the sideline, at least for a snap or two. Coach Moorhead there to check on it.
Coming on the left side right here. He's going to
kind of got rolled up on a little bit, maybe.
I don't know.
Like maybe.
Right side number 99.
And left ankle got tweaked a little bit.
I think so,
right
by
there.
his own player as he twisted the tackle down on Judkins.
Friendly fire from Lewis. So he'll sit out. Buckeyes back in Akron territory at the 47-yard line. Toss sweep. Judkins buries his head and got a couple out of that. Looked like he could have actually lost yardage, but stayed with it. David made the tackle.
Watch over here. It's going to be the quick toss. Josh Simmons, the left tackle, is going to try to get out there and is beaten just across his face to turn it in. That was where the play was stopped. Just did not quite get out to that edge.
72 rushing yards for the Buckeyes. Minus rushing yardage for Akron so far in this first half. They're going to keep it on the ground. This time they go wide. Trevion Henderson brought himself down, planted that foot, and you saw a little bit of the rubber come up from the turf.
Our old friend Seth McLaughlin, transfer. Watch at center right here. He's going to get a pull out from this side. Watch his athleticism, comes out, gets around the corner.
2nd and 3. Quick throw. Agbuko get a flag down as he's got the first down. Still going inside the 30, but let's see what the penalty marker's about.
I think it was because they snapped it while we were doing a replay. I think that should be a penalty.
That's 5 yards, I'm pretty sure.
Exactly.
Illegal formation, more than 4 in the backfield offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still 3rd down.
Yeah, let's go back. We're going to now get time, right? Take a look at the finish of that play by Seth McLaughlin. One of the 4 key transfers, playing center, comes around the corner. Pretty good.
Yeah, just kind of push McCoy.
Yeah, but that's enough. That's enough.
That's plenty when you got Trevion Henderson.
I always feel like Jason Kelsey's watching me. You know, I'm going to make the podcast like you don't know anything about
They need to have you on that show.
Exactly. Cleveland Heights, this is the area.
3rd down and 8. Blitz coming on Howard. Has time. Delivers a strike. And that one's to Tate. And Carnell Tate's got a first down.
Ness. This is how you pick up the blitz, okay? Watch Trevion Henderson. Okay, watch number 30. Remember the low block before? Watch this.
Oh!
That's not a low block.
No.
That's how you pick up the blitz.
And he even excited himself. Watch the reaction after he hit that
I'm
guy.
going to tell you, every NFL team will see that play and go, he can do that too.
16-yard pickup. Will Howard looking for more. Now he's going to do it with his legs. Will Howard down to the 10-yard line. Should be 1st and goal.
This guy's going to be dangerous. This Will Howard is going to be dangerous. Telling you. 240 pounds. You know, I honestly felt, I know the great success Ohio State has had, but I kind of felt like in the last couple of years, and I understand, good quarterback play, you go with it, but and great receivers, but I really thought they missed that quarterback run part of the game a little bit. And boy, does he bring it back.
19-yard pickup. It is first and goal right at the 10-yard line. You talked about Ben Roethlisberger. I saw Josh Allen right
Absolutely.
there.
I'll go with that one.
The give. Travion got about a yard out of it.
Ben is going, Ben goes, I only made like 18, 19 million. Josh is at 50 million. I could have done that for 50 million.
Absolutely. We're under 5 minutes in the quarter. Ohio State just a touchdown lead, but looking for more right here.
Just remember, you know, Ben Roethlisberger was a MAC quarterback.
That's right.
Obviously.
Yep.
Akron in the MAC.
Second and goal at the 9. Three wideouts to the left. The play fake, the throw, and the slant is a strike to Jeremiah Smith. Touchdown, Ohio State.
Can't do anything about that, Akron Zips. Ness called it a strike. Nothing more needs to be said. Watch it coming from the top of the screen. Bit of traffic, too, and watch this throw. Stuck it in his face.
He might have dropped his first pass. He hasn't dropped the 2 touchdowns.
Number 1 receiver recruit in the country.
Yep.
You can kind of see why.
I think so. Extra point is up and good.
He's got that size, that feel of
kick away. See if Akron can get anything in the final 4.5 minutes of this quarter just to add to their 3 points. Well, let's take another look at the touchdown.
Yeah, get a feel for how good of that throw was this time. Comes right off the edge of number 42, Melvin Spriggs. I think this is him right here.
Motion. Illegal numbering. There were 2 players numbered 22 on the kicking team. That 5-yard penalty be added to the end of the kick. First down.
And there's the penalty. Well, I'd penalize him 40 yards. I can't stand double numbers. It's just me.
Yeah, I only got 5 yards for a replay. You want 40?
Yeah, I do.
Holy cow.
There's the possessions. Akron got a field goal on their first possession, and they're going in the wrong direction right now since then.
Oh, you know, I mean, they are facing what some people think is the most talented defense in college football. It is possible if the players that are eligible to turn pro, 10 of the 11 players could turn pro on defense and be drafted. Only Caleb Downs is not eligible.
That's only because he's a sophomore.
Exactly.
There's one of them, Jack Sawyer. He's a load on the left end. Tuimolo out likewise on the other end. Sidearm throw, complete, broken tackle. And finally, they get something to the wide receiver. That's Bobby Golden. First down, Zips.
You know, after you intercept the pass, Denzel Burke goes, I'm going for another one. He thought he could beat the ball there, misjudged it by a half an inch, and does not gets the spin off for the big play.
They had 36 yards of total offense before that play, which picked up 19.
I will have to say, Akron has not really slowed the game down. I thought they would. I thought they'd be snapping it a little bit slower in this clock to give that defense a little bit more rest.
Joe told us yesterday we're going to RPO them off the bus. That hasn't been necessarily the case either, although here comes one. And that's going to be the run option part as Finley gets about 4. And we're under 4 minutes to play.
The defense, we talked about it. Tuimoloau, Tyleik Williams, Ty Hamilton, Jack Sawyer, even the backups. This time, Williams is in the game.
Sawyer got the pressure off the edge and then stayed with it enough to be part of the tackle.
Sawyer was a high school quarterback, has put on 35 pounds to play defensive end.
Bentley, quick throw, and that's a one-hopper, incomplete. Igbinosin was in coverage on Bobby Golden. It's third down at 5. Now remember, the Zips get the ball to start the third quarter.
Yeah, they would love to get this thing down past the 2-minute timeout.
Which is coming up in a minute 25 seconds. And sure college football fans, you probably watched 15 games already and know about the 2-minute timeout that is new this year. Right now, the Zips are thinking about getting a first down.
Here's Sonny Styles, got his nose in there. Safety linebacker today, right in this area. Great blitzer.
Finley has to throw quick as there was pressure coming, and he got the 5 yards. He got 6 to Jordan Simmons.
Well, you can see why in this college football Ben Finley was recruited. He's kind of gone cross-country twice.
Yeah.
You know, grew up in, Arizona, went all the way east to North Carolina State, went all the way back to Cal, and now he's in the middle of the country.
And is taking a hit, too. His brother, of course, was an NC State quarterback, was drafted by the Bengals and played in the NFL for a time.
Ben was 3 years at NC State and just 1 at Cal.
And if you missed it, he was shaken up in the opening drive of the ball game. Went to the locker room, first the tent, then the locker room, came back. Coach Moorhead said they deemed him ready to go, and he's looked pretty good right here. No cobwebs so far. And this was a knockback shoulder throw that didn't get there.
I kind of like the call, though. You know, they've been knocking down a lot of those curls and quick passes. Kind of when I believe it was a hitch and go. Yeah, hitch and go. Great defense that time by Davis and Gnosum.
But
He
Jack
read it and did a
Sawyer
great
was
job.
bringing the heat again. Watch number 33 coming off the edge. Nice spin move.
Yeah, he got right by Daquan Thomas, number 51. He's kind of owning him, isn't he?
He looks like our new NFL Today guy to me. Looks like J.J. Watt.
Yeah, well, that's a good. He'd love that comparison.
Yeah, I suppose. 130.
He'd take T.J. Watt.
Yeah, either Watt. Any of the Watts. That's complete. A little bit of an opening for Simmons. Short of the first down by a couple. And the clock stops at 2 minutes at the end of the second and fourth quarters. The ball's alive at that time. The timeout will take place once the ball's dead. And we're coming to it in about 24 seconds. So we might have one more play here. Third down at 2. Fans trying to get their defense to make a stop. Both quarterbacks in again. Taj Bullock, Ben Finley in the gun. Bullock over here on the near side and now in motion. Little stop and gets under center. And did we get to the 2-minute mark?
No, I think Joe Moorhead called timeout.
Akron, their first of the half. Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes, 2 seconds.
He did. He was playing the game clock. Remember, Joe Moorhead has, you know, the experience as a play caller. He knew, I think he knows what he was doing.
He's smiling at himself anyway.
I don't know. He might be second guessing himself right now, I'll tell you the truth.
Well, he's going to be able to talk things over about a 3rd and 2. Can't take all those timeouts with you. That's what Dean Smith did for all those years at North Carolina. He kept pocketing those things. You can only use them each game. Tuesday night, 9 Eastern, go beyond the gridiron with CBS Sports Network as our crew of experts bring you highlights and insights on inside college football. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jenny Dell, Gene Steratore at the Horseshoe. And we thought maybe we'd get some rain. It's been nothing but sunshine and kind of a muggy day in Columbus, Ohio, where the Buckeyes lead 17-3. 2:02. Taj Bullock gets under center. They go with the play they were going to run, and I don't know. I think he got it.
Either.
It's close.
It was one of those fake plays, one of those Tom Brady plays. He was turning around. Ben Finley was looking at the bench like, what do I do? What do I do? And then they ran the sneak.
Finley
Watch quarterback Finley
number
right
10.
here.
Finley's going, what do I do? I'll just, Taj is under center. Let him do it. So we're at the 2-minute timeout. The question is whether he got the first down or not. We'll have plenty of time to talk about it and measure it, I guess.
Ohio State has plenty of time to put another touchdown on the board.
No doubt. So they were almost a half-yard short.
Yeah, are they going to go shotgun here? They are. Or so far.
Both quarterbacks are out there. You see Taj Bullock to the left of your screen there, number 12. But it's Ben Finley in the shotgun on 4th and inches. And now they shift receivers around. Send Bobby Golden in motion. And Taj Bullock, they're going to try this again. This time they're going to try an option. No, he's going to keep it, but he got it. Needed about a half yard and got about a yard and a half.
They got a nice little package, don't they, with
Yeah.
both quarterbacks in the game? They've showed just about everything. You just can't, as an offensive coordinator, and Joe Moorhead's been doing it for a long time, you can't keep doing the same thing. Ohio State loads up inside. They've got the outside option. Nice package.
Sonny Styles got there, but he got there too late, so it's first down. And a possibility of adding points if they can get a little more. They already got a field goal of 48 yards.
Well, they have not been able to run the ball all day. I mean, their negative yard is running the ball, including sacks.
Finley has to run for his life again. Throws on the run, and nice throw, but it's incomplete.
I think
Broken up by Jordan
he
Hancock.
did. Yeah, I think he got his hand on it, Ness. He laid out it just at the end. I think this thing could have been completed.
It was Polk that was there, but he was sliding out of bounds.
Yeah, he might have been out of bounds, but that's still a nice play. You know, Finley's got some good quicks, and he needs them.
10th play of the drive. Trying to at least get in field goal range. They're about 12 yards away from that right now. Judging by their previous field goal in the first quarter. Play clock down to 5. Here comes a blitz. Finley gets rid of it in a hurry. Got it out, complete. And Israel Polk goes out of bounds. Coming up on the Geico halftime report, Adam, Rick, BJ, and their new addition, AT, Aaron Taylor, break down the first half and catch you up on what's going around the country. They have done that with us throughout our 2 quarters, but it's nice for us to sit back and listen to the guys and find out what is going on elsewhere. And Finley kind of rotating that shoulder going, you know, I've taken some shots here in the first 2 quarters. He's hanging in, though, and trying to get his team more points before the break. 3rd down and 5. About 5 away from field goal range. Finley pumps. Second throw is over the top of his tight end, Jake Newell. And now it's 4th and 5 from right there.
I think Tui Molowau took that play away. Defensive end dropped right into the throwing pass that time. I think that's what took it away. Left side right here. See if he doesn't just give away. Yes, he undercut the receiver. Nice call by Jim Knowles, defensive coordinator for Ohio State.
And now a huge play here for the Zips and the Ohio State defense. It would have been a 52-yard field goal attempt.
I think they're going to try to draw him off sides here and then punt the ball.
Here they go. Finley has to roll to his left. It's going to be a tough throw. And he goes out at the line of scrimmage. And he is holding his ribs or his shoulder.
Yeah, it's that left shoulder, left side of the wrist. I tell you, he had the tight end wide open for a touchdown. Came off it a little bit quick. Been scrambling all day, but watch right here. Watch him wide open. Look at this. Right there, boom.
He has to roll to the short side of the field and now trying to make a throw there, and it's like, ouch.
Was it Sawyer that put the pressure on him that got him out of the pocket? I had my eyes downfield. I still think he had enough time to throw that football.
So Ohio State takes over on downs.
Yeah, and with 3 timeouts remaining.
And Finley's, you can just see the grimace on his face. And I can't tell if it's his shoulder or his ribs. Something hurts, and it's been hurting since the first drive of the ball game. So he's been tough to hang in there. But now Will Howard's got a chance. Deep out is too high. Incomplete. Intended for Jeremiah Smith. We'll have to wait and see in the 3rd quarter if it's a 2-quarterback system still for those guys. .58 seconds. Ohio State's got all their timeouts. They've got Travion Henderson in the backfield. And full complement of receivers, including the tight end, G. Scott. Throw wide side, complete. Jeremiah Smith goes out of bounds. That stops things with 55 seconds.
This is where the veteran experience of Will Howard is being counted on. Coming in, remember Kyle McCord last year played, first year playing, was in a lot of big games. Will Howard has played, I think he had 28 starts at Kansas State.
At the 38-yard line, 3rd down and 7. Got Egbuka and Smith both to his left. He wanted to go that way. blitz coming, and he sidearms it to Travion Henderson. Better get on the ball. It might be a fumble, and Henderson does.
Right now, Akron should take a timeout. They're going to punt.
And they're letting the clock go. I agree with you. They got 2 timeouts.
I mean, I'd go for the... I think they just realized that it wasn't an incomplete pass, and Joe Moorhead is calling timeout.
Wasted some valuable seconds, though, for sure.
Yeah, he was... I think he thought it was a pass. You know, give him the benefit of the doubt.
Right. But they had to have lost about 8 seconds there. So we got 37 seconds. A punt coming up. 4th down and 17. It was a weird-looking play because of the angle Howard threw it from.
Rush off the edge that time really changed the play, forced Will Howard out, and obviously it was a lateral.
Yep. He was across. Well, he was across about the 31, and the ball landed right about at the 29 and a half.
Yeah, Ohio State very fortunate to come up with this ball.
Yeah, Travion Henderson hung with it.
Yep.
So now it's Joe McGuire to punt, and Noel Roach is back deep.
And if they've got a block, I'd be going for it.
A big shift for Ohio State to that right side for him to kick it that way. Fair catch called for by Roach at the 21-yard line. So they've got 1 timeout after a 51-yard punt and a half minute to go. And Ben Finley is going to be sore tomorrow, if not in the second half. This was the first series.
Yep.
Big shot. Letting it go, and Sawyer letting him have it.
I think that's the one that got him in that rib area that's bothering him now. They seem to pop up, you know, towards the game. As the game goes on, it gets worse and worse. Remember Jenny telling us that Finley loves to play golf? Guarantee he's not playing any golf this week.
No, that swing's not going to be what it was.
No, it isn't.
No. He's coming out. For all the agony he shows on his face.
Yeah, I wonder if this is worth it right here. This has got to be a screen or a draw. Ohio State has 3 timeouts, so you got to get it. Oh, wow.
And a throw out in the flat. Pickup of about 2 for Jarvis Rush. And that might do it.
And they're just hoping Ohio State and Ryan Day doesn't call timeout.
Joe Moorhead takes the headset off.
And I think, you know, Ohio State has shown some things, especially in Will Howard. But I will say this, Akron has to love where they are.
They came to play, man.
You bet. They have to be proud. If you're an Akron fan, you have to be.
To start our 3rd quarter in Columbus. And this one will sail out of the back of the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. We'll bring you back into the booth. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, you just heard from Jenny. I don't know the things that impressed me. I think the Zips defense and the freshman wide receiver, Jeremiah Smith. What do you think?
I think Ohio State should be a little bit happy with the fact that they got a test here.
Yeah.
They're not just rolling over people. They can work on things. I mean, this is a legitimate football game for them. I think the thing that they most hang their hat on, they're most happy, their quarterback play.
Right.
I mean, he showed that he can be that type of guy. You can't win a national championship without one of those guys that makes plays like that. He might be the piece.
The thing they might not be happy about is not really able to run the ball when you got 2 All-American type tailbacks. So far, anyway, as we start with Ben Finley running a quarterback draw. I don't think that's my first choice, but that's Joe Moorhead's first choice. The guy that's banged up, and he takes off.
I might be wrong, but I think it was just a pass call, Brad. Nobody was open, and he had to run.
Well, he took a shot from Ransom at the end of it.
And that's been
right in the shoulder.
Been one of the major coaching points for Ohio State as Ransom tried to punch the ball over. That's the one area that the Ohio State defense has circled. They need more turnovers.
Remember, Finley's left shoulder was the initial problem, and he just took a right cross from Ransom on that one.
Oh, nice.
Sidearm throw. He got hit, got it out to Bullock.
Yeah. That's that run pass stuff that isn't so fun sometimes.
No, not when you're getting drilled.
By design, nobody blocks Sawyer, so you got to get rid of this, and you got to get rid of it.
Okay, 2 plays in, Ransom and then Sawyer. I don't like the feel of Finley.
That's the offense. Joe Moorhead runs the RPO offense. That's how quick you have to be, and that's how much you get hit.
He's gotten decked twice. Once on a run, once on a sidearm pass attempt. 3rd down and 6. Ohio State almost jumped offside. Here comes the heat again. He took another shot and a flag down. The completion, let's see. And Ben Finley's picking himself off the turf again.
That's 3 for 3.
This is a tough dude right here. Let's see what the flag is.
I mean, this time Sawyer hit him with that shoulder. He was running top speed when he hit him.
Tim O'Day is our referee. Oh,
man. Oh, man.
Offside defense number 44 was in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Watch him top of the screen. Watch him jump just before it doesn't get back.
Thought they had that motion. Tuimoloau out. And then Sawyer says, okay, whether it's offside or not, I'm going to take
a
shot.
Number 51, Daquan Thomas, having a rough start here.
The captain, one of the captains of the defense, Jack Sawyer, he is bringing the wood to the quarterback every time he gets a chance.
I didn't think it was a first down, was it?
No, it wasn't. It's 3rd down.
They moved the chains moved down. They had to bring them back.
So they'll reset those. 3rd down and 6. Now it's 3rd down and 1 after the penalty.
Yeah, this is the 4th play, though, and he's gotten hit on every play.
Every play. And that's where he was, short of the first down. Perfect look from our sideline cam. Empty backfield, except Bullock was going to join the backfield, and now we got whistles in motion on Akron. Apparently, we're going to go right back to where we were, 3rd down and 6.
If I had something to say, I might try to guess, but I have no idea what's going on.
The previous play is under further review for the spot of the ball.
All right, we can show him. Show him our replay.
But it's a 5-yard penalty. They just have to go mark 5 yards off from the last. They're not taking the completion.
Okay, so it's a yard shy. Gene, what are we looking at here?
Well, you know, I'm going to take an educated guess and think that they may have thought that there was forward progress there and he was driven backward.
That it would have been a first down, you mean?
You can clearly see that the receiver, after he possesses this Newell, he takes himself back behind the line to gain before the defender engages with him. So he doesn't get that extra yardage where the reception was initially made because he wasn't driven back from that point is what I'm assuming they're doing with the guys.
Right, okay.
Yeah, he just barely touches him and he's already past the 35-yard line.
This is Newell. If he could have possibly gone just straight out of bounds, he was getting helped out of bounds. Here's a call.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. It is 3rd down, Akron.
Right. So they take the penalty. If it would have been a completion, they would have taken the play. Past the first down.
So, yes, now it's 3rd down and 1 where we saw him go out of bounds after the penalty.
I think Finley's going, it's not me running the quarterback sneak.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I think everything hurts right now on him. Bullock is out there as well. No, he's not. Bullock went back out. He was on the field for a moment. Jordan Simmons in the backfield. Now we got some confusion again.
Akron has called their first time out of the half.
And a whole lot of nothing going on, but maybe something for Ben Finley. Ransom with a forearm shot. Sawyer decks him. Then back to throw, and it's Sawyer again on a blast. And he was hurt in the first half. He has hung in there throughout. I got to give him a lot of credit.
Sure do.
But the junior transfer out of Phoenix by way of North Carolina State and Cal. Jenny?
Well, guys, you just said it. I asked Coach Moorhead about his status, and he said he cleared concussion protocol during halftime. He has a cut on his finger. When I asked about that left shoulder and the ribs, that's what it looks like issues there. Our eyes might be telling us something different, though, guys.
Okay. Third down in the yard. And I don't think so. Going to be fourth down and a half yard. Jordan Simmons trying to fight his way to the first down mark.
It's an interesting call for Joe Moorhead.
At your own 35, you're playing the number 2 team in the country. You got fourth down and about a foot.
I think it'd be a bad message to your team that has a bunch of games left to say we're going to punt it.
Fourth and inches.
Still surprised that Taj Bullock is not in the game.
He was a couple of plays ago. He is in there now in the slot on the left side. Unless he becomes in motion, he's not going to be much a part of this play unless they just lob one to him. Simmons, this time he got it. So they needed inches. They got about a yard.
Yeah, I thought this was a reasonable call. A message to your team is these guys are good. Let's see if we can pick it up.
Yep.
Caleb Downs was in there to make the play, sniffing around, but just a half a second late.
Fresh set of downs for the Zips, trailing by 2 touchdowns.
Even though they have the microphones in the helmet for the quarterback, the rest of the team is still looking over for the play.
Everybody still, for the most part, using signals, even with that addition this year. And
that's not going to work.
That loses a yard or so. Take a look at our game trends. Finley, 8 out of 14. Taj Bullock, 31 yards. Will Howard, 11th career game with 2 touchdown passes in the first half. Jeremiah Smith, first Ohio State freshman with 2 touchdown receptions in his debut since 1996.
Yeah, that might be it for Finley.
You can only take so much.
Yeah, I think Joe was not an issue to Jenny. Might be a bit off.
I think so, too. I've been saying that for a quarter since the first series, actually. And that means Taj Bullock, number 12, down to his play, much like the first series. With a swing pass out in the flat. Nice game by Jordan Simmons out to the 40.
Yeah, on that keeper on third down, he got hit again. And he goes, I got nothing, coach, right now. I mean, tough is tough, but I can't feel the right side of my body.
Right. Third down and 6. Taj Bullock looking to the sideline for the call. 3 wide receivers here to the near side. All his throws so far have been short. This one's going to be a keeper, and he's close. He might have it.
Hey, first down at a time. Every time you make a first down, you take another 3 minutes off the clock. Inside, Tyleek Williams at that time just dusted his block and was there, but, you know, a little too much quickness for him on that play. Bullock showed.
So Taj doing it with his legs and his arm to a certain extent on that first quarter drive. There has not been a lot of wide receiver action for the Zips today. This time Simmons trying to take it wide, and that's going nowhere.
Tyleek Williams, again, number 91, one of those tandems inside. He and Ty Hamilton, number 58 and 91. Watch this play again as he forces it wide from that defensive tackle spot. Comes upfield, he's not blocked, nowhere to go. Run it right into the defensive end for the tackle by Mitchell Melton.
Melton's the guy that cleaned up, but 91's the guy that forced it into his hands. And a second down at 15. Looking for a swing pass, going to throw it a mile away. He didn't get the look he wanted. He didn't want to pick six. He just let it fly.
Hey, Ness, when I was at Akron's practice on Wednesday, their main speaker and sound system in the stadium, they practiced in the stadium, was not working because they were doing something on the scoreboard. They had a little speaker on the sideline that kept playing the Ohio State fight song, and they were saying, this ain't going to work. It's going to be a lot louder than that.
It's not really that loud.
I was going to say, but however, it might have sufficed for them.
Yeah.
This is not that loud.
Pretty mellow crowd. They're trying to warm it up right now. Third down at 15. Bullock sidearms it. Complete. One broken tackle. Not the second one, though, for Bobby Golden, that goes out of bounds on the Ohio State sideline. And it's fourth down. They've had the ball for the whole quarter at 9:21 to go, and the clock's still winding down.
They're going to take out at least, 6.5 minutes, 7 minutes, close to 7 minutes of the quarter.
Well, they took the air out of the game and the crowd in the third quarter and chewed up 6 minutes plus, but they've got to kick it away. Avery Book. Brandon Innes is waiting back on the other end. Book with that left foot. Got a pretty good punt this time. Innes at the 5. First guy missed. Innes on the punt return. All the way out to about the 38-yard line. Good looking return. Charles Kellum brought him down, or he might have been off to the races.
Brandon Innes from Hollywood, Florida, 5-star player, lettered as a true freshman. You get the feeling when you're at Ohio State, you're a receiver. Anytime you have a chance to get the ball, you take your chances.
And he got it on a 52-yard punt and took it 36 yards the other way.
Again, Daredevil goes back, makes the play. He's trying to show it, but he looked on a half and I wonder if
I think it's all coming back.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. And that's why he slapped his sides of his helmet, but his hands is out. This close to taking it.
Ohio State, this is only a warning. There is no yardage foul.
We'll say this, though, Nelson, might not have counted, but the coaches noticed it, and he'll get another chance to get the ball.
So the warning was to...
The official name is C2P. It's coach to player. As you can see, we have a little speaker inside here. So we have one offensive player and one defensive player. They're able to use these helmets and wear them talking to the coaches. It cuts off at 15 seconds on the play clock. The coaches can talk to them. They cannot talk back. Now, quarterbacks will have this nice little panel to try to help with the noise. And while technology is great, I had an opportunity to wear one of these helmets at the Buckeyes practice on Thursday, and I want you guys to listen to what these guys are hearing. Okay, so you hear that audio. Now imagine 100,000 fans on top of that. That was in a quiet room. So credit to the guys out there that are able to hear these play calls.
Well, Jenny was walking around with a helmet on all day Thursday. Right. She felt pretty special. And
you know what I feel like? If that's how it sounds, I could call any play I wanted to if I was in there. I couldn't make that out.
They've also got hand signals for I can't hear or I got nothing. Here goes Judkins for the first time with a nice run. Pickup of about 12 or 13 for Quinshawn.
And I think if you're going forward, what would Chip Kelly like to accomplish in the second half? I think it's run the ball better than they did in the first half. One of the problems for the Ohio State offense a year ago, they only rushed the ball for 139 yards a game was their average.
They'd like about 50 more than that, probably, at least. Howard airing it out. Got a man, Smith has got it inside the 5. Jeremiah Smith making a name for himself in his first appearance in the scarlet and gray.
Coverage was there again, coming across, but can't find the ball. Receiver has a huge advantage over Damon David that time. Their safety's coming across, balls in the air, and Chip says, we can run and we can't throw. He said balance is what he wanted most.
And Quinshawn Judkins, I think, got it across the line, didn't he not?
They said touchdown.
Touchdown, Ohio State. Chip's going, I like the play before that, but I'll take that 2-yard touchdown run.
First year since 2018, Ryan Day has not been calling the plays. First, he signed Bill O'Brien. He signed at Boston College as a head coach, called up his old head coach and said, Chip, you want to help? And he came.
Nice job by Judkins of not having his knee drop down and then stretching it out to cap that drive of 3 plays in a hurry of 60 yards. The extra point coming up from Jaden Fielding. Just about the midway point of the third quarter as Ohio State's going to run it out to a 3-touchdown lead with the extra point, and it's up and good. 24-3. The big play on that drive. Stadium 24-3 now as we go back to the touchdown, and watch the concentration of Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, spotters in the booth. Ness said, did he have a hold of his right arm? Did he catch it one-handed? He did.
He did.
David had his right arm pinned, and he caught it. Again, that's one of those plays where their guy's better than our guy, all right? I mean, that's can't be unhappy. Even a closer look by our truck. Watch this one.
That's a beauty right there.
Look at that.
Well, they said he was the #1 recruit in the country, and that he might be something extra special, and looks like he's off to a good start, Jenny.
Yeah, the hype is real. He came in with such high expectations, and he made a name for himself. The first true freshman to be named an Iron Buckeye. That honors players who exhibit unquestionable dedication, toughness, and leadership during off-season workouts. And he broke the black stripe tradition record that was established by Ernvin Meyer back in 2012. So Buckeye newcomers, they practice with a black stripe on their helmet, and they have to be removed once the players prove themselves. His removal was just after 4 practices, a new record, guys.
Almost an interception there as Jarvis Rush had that one skip off his hands. Big Minoshin almost had his hands on the interception. Rush should have had it. That was a good throw by Bullock.
Yeah, and that's one of those plays. Remember, this defense, it's been the story of this year for Jim Knowles. We need more turnovers. Last year, an 11-win team only forced 11 turnovers all year. 4 fumble recoveries and 7 interceptions. They think they need at least 15 to 18.
Saw Ben Finley on the sideline, even with the pads off, he can barely move around. And the agony of the hits he's taken from the Ohio State defense today. What he keeps reaching for is sternum and ribs to me. It's not so much the shoulder. You ever had broken ribs? Oh, it's the worst. You can't breathe. You can't sleep. You can't do anything.
And he's wearing a flak jacket, too.
Yeah, it went right through the flak. Trust me.
Exactly. It can stop a bullet, not a defensive end.
Good point. 3rd down and 10. Taj Bullock. Jeremiah Smith has almost as much receiving yardage as the Zips offense does today. And he's going to take off. Quarterback draw. And hit from behind, and the ball is out. And Ohio State's got it. And it's Ransom down the sideline. Touchdown, Ohio State. Lathan Ransom on a scoop and score.
Ness, I think it was Hero Canoe, number 93, that stripped the ball.
Just when you were talking about impact plays on defense and what the defensive coordinator was looking for, he just got one.
He did. And that popped it out, and it was scooped up. And Ransom races to the end zone.
He's got a convoy with him. No problem.
Forced turnovers, that becomes contagious. Once it starts, it can really build through the whole season.
So just that quickly, we went from 17-3 to about to be 31-3 in a hurry. Kick is up and good. Midway point. 102,000. Some have gone home. Ben Finley wished he had one of those things around him today, I think, probably playing quarterback.
I think he still could be hurt, though.
It could be. So the scoop and scores made it 31-3.
Yeah, all of a sudden, you're hanging in the first quarter with a nice little drive. You get it almost to the 8-minute mark, and you go, okay. And then a nice, nifty punt return, right? First. Okay, you thought you had him pinned down. Successful run, all of a sudden, boom. Pass down to the 1-yard line.
Then the long ball down to the 2. Judkins scores from there. A couple plays later, fumble by Bullock. And the scoop and score by the Ohio State defense.
now what do? The RPOs aren't going to work anymore.
And you got a quarterback that's not really a down-the-field thrower, but that's what you're using now because the other guy, the starter, is out. But the Ohio State defense, it started kind of slow, and not anymore.
Yeah, this is an area they would love to be able to do this every game. It won't be this easy, but the edges, C.J. Hicks coming in, Caleb Downs from the secondary making a sack. Watch number 2 here come in, make the play when the quarterback runs up. He was ready for it. Different angles. Jim Knowles is showing you the whole package with those great athletes.
And remember, they're playing without Cody Simon, their normal play caller and middle linebacker. And they have missed him, but they have covered for him well. He'll be back and ready to go, hopefully in the next game. And there's Ransom making another tackle. Just no big chunk plays for the Akron offense today.
No, and it's something that they struggled with all last season. As they only had three games last year as a team that they rushed for more than 100 yards. So they struggled running the ball against Mid-American Conference teams.
You saw there just 10-yard plus plays. They only have 5 today. Here's Bullock trying to scamper for a first down. He's going to go up short and be third down at about 4. Sonny Styles, who is the guy that's making the defensive calls with the coach-to-player telecommunication that Jenny was talking about. He made the stop. There's a green dot on the back of his helmet. That's the indicator. Third down at 4. Under 6.5 to go, third quarter. Bullock sidearms it, got it to his tight end Newell. This might be the biggest play of the day for the offense. Jake Newell down the sideline before he's knocked out of bounds.
There's a bust on this one. Man-to-man coverage from your safety. You're attacking the line of scrimmage. You have to play man-to-man coverage. Stay with your keys, both the corner and the safety. Get nosy up in the line of scrimmage to stop the run. Nobody covers the tight end.
And a pickup at 29. That is the longest play of the day for Akron. Got it out to the Ohio State 40. 3 wideouts here to the near side. Taj Bullock in the backfield with Charles Kellum. Up motion. And it's going to be first and 15.
False start. Offense number 58. 5-yard penalty. First down.
We talked to Joe Moorhead yesterday in our meeting, and talking about just learning how to win and how to close things out. Most losses by 3 points or fewer last season. They had 4 games. They lost 3 overtime games, including a 4 overtime game to Indiana.
Yeah, missed a chip shot field goal.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned earlier they've lost 10 one-score games in the last 2 years. Well, this isn't a one-score game anymore, but it was for a good portion of the first half. And Bullock broke a tackle, got past the umpire, and now he goes down on his own. And he's going to jump up. I thought maybe he hurt himself on the run. Caleb Downs make sure he didn't go any further.
Delvin Morris got injured on that play. Number 57 went down on the play. I think all of the offensive linemen for Akron wear knee braces protectively on both knees. That might have saved him.
Max Mobley, a freshman, true freshman, will take his spot on the offensive front. Taj Bullock. Let's check in with Jenny.
Standing right behind Ben Finley right now. His pads are off. He has a big bag of ice taped to his chest. He is grimacing in pain, guys. No surprise here, but he is officially out. First start for the Zips. It's a tough ending for him, guys.
Yeah. Tough season opener, for sure. 8 out of 14 through an interception. And he played so many plays where he was getting nailed. I mean, 200-pounder, and he had about 20 pounds knocked out of him today in this game. 3rd and 2. And going to be a yard shy for Charles Kellum.
So that RPO offense works, but part of the RPO is that that run part. And I felt those Ohio State defensive ends were ignoring the run. When he was messing with the running back, they were going for the quarterback. They didn't believe, they figured my tackles, my linebackers will stop that. They were just zooming in on number 10.
Well, earlier a 48-yard field goal by Garrison Smith. They're going to give him a crack here from 49, which would be, again, his career long as he stares at the uprights. And the kick on the way. Got it. Two nice kicks by Garrison Smith.
You know, it's nice to build a little confidence in your kicking game. When you lose a game to IU with a missed field goal at the end of the game, now you say, all right, we got a weapon. Remember, he came in last night when we were talking to Joe Moorhead. He goes, maybe the 30, 31-yard line. I think he's gaining confidence for the rest of the season that he may have a kicker.
They had only one make outside of 40 yards last year. So as Gary said, to have your kicker, if nothing else, come through for you, that could help down the line big time.
And remember the goal for Akron, okay? Both teams are really playing against themselves. You got Ohio State trying to set the tone for a run at the championship.
Yeah.
You got Akron trying to set the tone in these big games early in their season to take a run at the MAC and try to get a bowl bid in the MAC.
Exactly. Three and a half to go, third quarter. Ohio State 31, Akron 6. On a 49-yard field goal to cap that drive. And it was mostly Taj Bullock, either with his legs or that pass to Jake Newell down the sideline, which was a 29-yard pickup. And Ohio State will let this one go as well. Hits the end zone to bring it out to the 25. And it'll give us a chance to remind you, CBS has more college football coming your way tonight, with UCLA heading to Hawaii to take on the Rainbow Warriors. That's tonight at 7:30 Eastern right here on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. Rich Waltz, Ross Tucker, Tiffany Blackman. They'll have the call on that one from Hawaii. You know what conference UCLA's in, if you're thinking about it?
Well, it's not that one on the screen, right? That Pac-12 has changed.
That's down to a Pac-2.
Yeah.
And obviously, with Oregon, UCLA, USC, and Washington joining the 18-team Big Ten, which is what we'll have for you all season long right here on CBS at 3:30 Eastern Time. Travion Henderson in the clear, picked up 12 on the swing pass. So it's been a little bit tough running the football, but if you get it spaced to either Judkins or number 32, you're probably going to have a positive play. Travion, who had his best year back in 21, almost 1,300 yards rushing. Here he goes. Henderson down the sideline and goes out of bounds. He's got another first down.
So Travion was not healthy all season last year. But if he stays, the 1-2 punch, one of the benefits of getting Quinshon Judkins is you might be able to keep this guy healthy all year as well. That's the new model at running back. You know, it's not the Archie Griffin carry the ball 35 times a game.
That's right. Well, he picked up 29 on that one, down to the 42-yard line. And that's Will Howard swing pass. Other way, Travion. Stiff arm, made one guy miss, knocked out of bounds. Another positive play as Ohio State's offense cooking right here with 2:45 remaining in the quarter.
You know, one of the things Travion showed he can run. He showed he's catching some balls. He showed some other stuff today, too.
And he's part of our smash and dash is what we call them. There's what they've done so far. And Judkins got that 2-yard touchdown. Travion now putting some numbers together here as a receiver and on the ground today. So that's the 1-2 punch for Ohio State. Second down at 4.
Stopped up well by that Akron defense.
Quinshon got 2 out of that.
A lot of pride for those defensive front 6 for Akron. They played good defense all last year for this Akron Zip football team.
Gary's been saying the front 6, if you haven't noticed, it's a 4-2-5 defense, so thus it's not the front 7 in their case. But these guys have a lot of pride, and they played like crazy today.
They only gave up 335 yards a game for a team that only won 2 games.
And Judkins has the first down, and there's some of the smash.
Their problem last year, Ness, if you look at the stats really closely, their red zone defense was just inferior.
Their red zone defense was 123rd in the country.
Yeah, that falls in the inferior category.
Yeah, it does. And they gave up 43 touchdowns in 12 games. That's not too good either. So they had some stats that kind of fool you. But when you give up touchdowns and you give up red zone scores, that's part of their problem a year ago. Other than that, they were pretty good. They were 32nd in the country in total yardage defense. And today they played as hard as they can against being outmanned with guys like McCoy, the 2-time captain, Brian McCoy. There's the numbers on the Akron defense. So they have improved pretty dramatically.
Yeah, if they stay healthy. I mean, this is when coming out of this game, okay, you don't get a win, but if you stay healthy, that's a win.
Play action.
It's a good penalty, though.
Yeah, would have been a touchdown to Abuka.
Yeah, because if you don't get the grab right here, this is a touchdown.
Yeah.
Joey Hunter grabs him, and Abuka's going to get his touchdown of the day.
Pass interference, defense number 6, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
By the way, I've heard a lot of people, my buddies, go, you know, I think the NFL should use the college rule of just the penalty. Why they don't do it is because it'll take those beautiful touchdown throws. Those DBs will be grabbing anytime you get close to a touchdown in the NFL.
Yeah, no doubt.
You get 10 PIs a game.
We got enough of those to start with.
Right.
James Peoples in the backfield. For just the second play, he's going to flush out to the top of your screen. Howard comes down the other way. Went right back to this near side this time to Bryson Rogers, his first catch.
Well, Will Howard hasn't had a ton of pressure on him throwing the ball. But one of the question marks was, how accurate could this guy be? He seems plenty accurate to me, right? I mean, there's no reason why he can't, and whatever Chip Kelly calls, he cannot run the offense as designed.
As you saw, Will looked to the sideline as he put his palms up. That means I can't hear anything.
Yep.
The other one is, tell me in my helmet again. So they told him by way of signals what they wanted here at 2nd down and 1 at the 4-yard line. They wanted Peoples to score. Touchdown, Ohio State.
And I'll tell you, a lot of people talking about James Peoples, that he had done a great job and really grown on this.
And defensive touchdown. Some offensive fireworks from Will Howard to his freshman receiver, Jeremiah Smith. Winshawn Judkins with a touchdown. Travion Henderson, a big part of that last drive to get James Peoples the 4-yard score. Now we're at 38-6.
Yeah, the Ohio State's rolling in players, and Akron is just running out of gas.
Well, let's take you back to 1992. Where were you? There we were. Couldn't you at least gain some weight or something?
It was our first game together.
First game ever right here against Louisville.
Herbie
Street. Herbie at the controls for the Buckeyes. Going to go deep to Joey Galloway. Galloway on the touchdown. Jeff Brom wasn't done, though. Louisville comes back. Score in the end zone. Going for the 2-point conversion.
A chance.
Didn't get it. Didn't get it. There we go. 32 years ago, my partner and I's first game.
That was the start.
Here we are back in the same booth.
You know what I'm thinking? That the hair day back in that day was hair dye was way better.
We didn't have to do that.
It took out all those chemicals after that. Can't get that same look anymore.
Oh. Anyway, it's been a nice run.
That was fun.
Yeah.
You know, everybody talks about, you know, this great backfield for Ohio State. It is a great backfield.
Yeah.
But they had a pretty good backfield back in that day for Ohio State. You know, how about Eddie George and Robert Smith? Okay.
Yeah.
Herbie had a good one to throw to, as you saw, and Joey Galloway.
Right.
Corey Stringer on the team. Dan Wilkerson on that team. Ohio State has always had talent.
That's what we were getting at. We were kind of around here for 3 days, and people say, this might be the most talented Ohio State team ever. And we go, yeah, but you should have seen them back in the day. They were pretty good then, too.
Right.
Quick throw out, short gain. As Paul Davis just made the catch.
I had a Buckeye teammate that played Ohio State. Pretty funny guy, and it was a joke, okay? Just start out there.
Okay.
Talking about that $20 million NIL that's been out there about this Ohio State team. And he said, God, back in my day, it was only $2 million.
I know who you're talking to, too, but we won't say anything. That's a good line, though.
We only got $2 million back then.
They're down at 6 for Akron. And they do not have an NIL collective. Joe Moorhead told us yesterday. They got guys that want to play football, and they played really hard today. They're just outmatched, as everybody expected them to be. But first half, they made Ohio State earn everything.
False start. Offense number 55. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
It would have been fun to see if Ben Finley wouldn't have gotten hurt, because I really liked the two quarterback thing that he had
a good
going.
plan, didn't he?
Yeah. And if they would have been able to sustain that the whole game without Ben getting hurt, it would have been fun to watch, because some of the plays were pretty unique. And we hope Ben's okay to play the next time they're in action. I don't know. It's going to be kind of a long week, I think.
This kind of rollback for this team, 10 guys that could have gone into the NFL decided to come back for Ohio State. I think they took a look at what happened at Michigan when they recommitted after that loss to TCU to come back and win, and that's what Ohio State has come back this year.
And now they're swarming the quarterback.
And these are all backup guys coming in now for Ohio State.
Yana Jackson was one of the first guys there.
Yeah, number 97.
Nice spin move.
He would be a starter almost anywhere in college football, playing behind two seniors, and there's a right there.
Yep. They got the moves. The veteran and the younger guys.
Kind of all started just during bowl practice when Jack Sawyer and Corby Simon both committed to coming back.
And then it was a domino effect. Like every 2 days, it seemed like one of these guys that could have been playing on Sunday said, I'm coming back too. I'm coming back too. And let's win the Big Ten. Let's beat Michigan. Let's get a ring. Let's get a natty, whatever.
Right.
It's going to be Ennis on a one-hop at the 40, and he's got, I thought he had some room, but a nice job down there by Roach to make the tackle on the special teams. Little over 12 minutes to go at the Horseshoe.
And now you've had quite the last few days. A new statue outside of Ohio Stadium. What are you hoping people think and feel as they walk past that statue?
Well, I'll tell you what I really want them to think of is the fact that I played on some great teams at Ohio State University. I want them to think of my teammates opening up holes for me, making it possible for me to win 2 Heisman trophies. But most importantly, I want them to remember the fact that those teams never lost in this stadium.
Gotta love that. Now I gotta ask you a question, some trivia here.
Okay.
What do you have in common with Bob Hope, Woody Hayes, and Jack Nicklaus?
Well, we all dotted the I.
That's right. What did you think of that honor?
It was fantastic. I was really surprised when they asked me to do it, because it's such a great honor. And, when I got out there, it was outstanding. It's something I'll never, ever, ever, ever forget.
All right, it was over 50 years ago when you got your first of your 2 Heisman trophies. Can you share with us a favorite memory, a favorite game moment?
Well, my favorite game moment was my second game of my freshman year. And the reason that it's one of my favorites, because I thought I'd never get into the game being a freshman. And they put me in the game in the middle of the first quarter and ended up with 239 yards, which at the time was no Ohio State rushing record. So that is my favorite moment, really, in all of football.
Showing them a thing or two out there. All right, before we let you go, you mean so much to this community. There's a lot of people that have been able to show their support and love for you. What is your message to Buckeyes fans out there right now?
My message, Buckeye fans, keep the faith. We've got a great program, we've got a great coach, and good things are going to happen for the Buckeyes this year.
It was a complete honor. Thank you so much for taking the time, guys. Back to you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you can spell it Griffin or CLASS. That's Archie Griffin.
Always talking team.
Yep. First down. Howard fires complete. Got it to Tate. Open field. Tate's gone. Touchdown, Buckeyes. Cornell Tate. And a third touchdown pass for Will Howard. This one from 34 yards.
Nice easy little curl route again. Go down about 12 to 15. Deliver the ball on time, and good things will happen. Go down about 12, 15, turn around, boom, Now, yards after catch. And this is where these elite athletes from Ohio State, the Akron players are good, but these guys have more speed.
Carnell was not even touched after he made that catch. And the yards after that Gary was talking about, capping just a short drive, took a couple of minutes, 4 plays. It was nice of Archie to talk to Jenny and get done just before.
Their area of Ohio.
Goodyear has been our blimp today, giving us our aerial shots, and it is from Akron today. So another chance for the offense if they can get something going here. 10 minutes remaining. Ohio State, so a win over the MAC today, and here's what's coming up.
Yeah, if you look at it, though, the beginning of this schedule, usually Ohio State up in this area has a big-time opponent. They really don't this year. It's more, they're another big one right here, obviously, at Oregon.
Yep.
Iowa at home, you know, that could be a fun game to do. At Penn State, that's the other challenge. Of the 5 top teams in the Big Ten that everybody's talking about could win it, Ohio State plays the other 4.
Yeah.
Iowa, Penn State, Oregon, and Michigan. That's more than all the other kind of contenders do.
You saw Michigan State in that first 5. They did not look very good in their opener.
If you're wondering why Ryan Day, you know, doesn't have that big opponent, remember the last 2 years it was Notre Dame.
Yeah.
In 2021 it was Oregon.
They lost.
Played a Cincinnati team that they beat, but that team won 11 games. Then Ryan's kind of as a head coach, I think Urban Meyer was suspended that day. In 2018 they beat TCU, and then the 2 games against Oklahoma, the plant the flag game for Baker. They should have played Washington. That was scheduled, but they dropped it when Washington came into the conference. That's why they don't have one of those big-name opponents.
Well, Ryan's going to go to 57-8, which is the 3rd best winning percentage for a guy that's coached over 50 games in his career. And the other names on that list, he probably just as soon you wouldn't mention who they are, but Walter Camp and Newt Rockne are the other 2 guys that only have a better winning percentage. There it is. That's pretty strong. He's going to be 57-8. He's going to be 55-4 in non-bowl games.
Yeah, well, there's the one number.
I know.
There's the one number for sure. I mean, this is a team again. You know, 2 years ago in the de facto national championship game, they're a field goal away. You know, they believe they'd have beat obviously TCU the way Georgia did in that game, and then 3 straight losses to Michigan.
So this is just the start of what is expected to be a huge year for these fans and this team in scarlet and gray, and they're off to a good start. A little bit sloppy early, and that happens in first games a lot.
You know, if you were going to take all the stories that could have happened in this game, let's suppose that offensive line came out and blew out Akron, okay, and they ran the ball for 350, like back in the old, you know, Bo and Woody days, where they
and Archie,
you got it. Run the ball anytime they want, okay.
As Dodge Bullock runs out of bounds.
That would have been nice, but I think the best thing is Will Howard, what they took out of this game.
No doubt. In less than 3 weeks, greatest reality show of all time returns. Jeff Probst and gathers his tribe for a new season of Survivor. It premieres Wednesday, September 18th on CBS. Well, what a way for Will really to start. I mean, he had some drop passes, then he hit a streak where you said he can't get any hotter, and then he just got solid again in the second half.
You know, he's got a nice, tight delivery. He weighs 240 pounds. You know, he runs, as Coach said, 22 miles an hour.
Yeah, they said everybody in our backfield, quarterbacks included, runs at least 22 miles an hour. They don't use 40 times anymore. They tell you how many miles per hour they run. Nice play out in the flat by Jermaine Matthews, one of the backups, getting some time.
Yeah, with this secondary, you know, when you have the 2 corners that a lot of people think, Igbenozum and Denzel Burke, they feel that arguably could be the best tandem of corners in the country. At least you have to bring them into the conversation. That means Jermaine Matthews and Simpson Hunt have to wait their turn. Those guys are salivating to get on the field.
And then the safeties aren't too bad. Caleb Downs and Ransomwood have scoop and score today, so their secondary is pretty solid. And the guys behind them, as Gary said, itching to play and show what they can do. Another rugby punt by the left footer.
This guy wants the ball.
At the 5, yeah, Innitt wants to return stuff. And he's got another nice return. better than good, but another flag down. So he's doing his thing. All he can do is run the punts back. He can't block for himself, and can't block in the back.
I'm going with this will not be a bench warning on this one. This is a for sure block in the back.
56-yard punt and a 27-yard return that we think is coming back.
During return, holding, return team number 22. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down. Timeout on the field.
7:13. This guy, and so will they. Let's wrap up Will Howard's day here.
Yep, he came from Kansas State. They won a championship there when he was there. The one thing they said is, we got some receivers here. Is he going to be that accurate arm we need? We know he can do all the other stuff, but can he throw it? And I think he showed he can throw it more than well enough to keep this Buckeye passing game going in the future.
3 touchdown passes today. 17 of 28, 228, 3. Wasn't sacked, was not intercepted. That's a pretty efficient day in his first outing as the Buckeye quarterback.
He's going to get some Buckeyes on the side of that.
That's right. The Buckeyes haven't started yet.
Yes.
There's going to be a few of those.
They won't look like it. Hell, won't look like that next week.
No, not for long anyway. And that means we've got the number 2 quarterback, Devin Brown, in at the controls, number 33. And there was a battle last year with Kyle McCord with this guy to see who was going to be the starter. And then when we did the Indiana game, it was McCord. And I think Devin only played like 2 snaps or something like that.
Devin started that bowl game against Missouri. That was a rough game for Ohio State. Guys didn't play. He was sacked 4 times. I looked at his stats. He was 16 for 28, 2 touchdowns. You know, they've got the number 1 offensive line still in the game for him, though.
And Peoples, who scored a touchdown earlier, close to a first down.
All the starters are up there up front.
This will be the 25th straight season opening win for Ohio State. Got a flag down. This is where you want to see that.
Illegal snap. Offense number 56. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Seth McLaughlin.
That's one thing he didn't want to hear.
No.
He'd been perfect all game.
We saw him have a few troubles. A little double clutch, maybe. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
there it is. There it is.
He thought he heard a clap that time. That's, you know, new quarterback in the game. He thought he heard it.
Cadence is a little different. Claps a little different.
Yeah, that's understandable. Maybe Devin has softer hands.
Third down at 6. Brown to throw and delivers complete. That should be good enough for a first down to Jaden Ballard. Got right to the line. And from our AT&T pylon cam, this one should come right into your face.
Yep, nice catch,
there it
nice
is.
reach.
And the turn just enough right there. Good look. You can almost read the ink on his left leg. So first down Buckeyes as we're under 6 minutes. Peoples. Only a couple for James. And it was C.J. Nunley who's not giving up. You know, to stop along with Murphy. I think the Zips defense is going to give some MAC teams some fits this year.
Absolutely. If they stay healthy, and they've rolled some of their guys in, by the way. This is just not, you know, 6 guys, that's it. You got to give defensive coordinator a lot of credit for this kind of group of the way they play. It's, you know, call it a 3-3-5 or call it a 4-2. I think it's basically a 4-2.
Peoples again had almost 2,000 yards as a high school junior, so he comes highly touted too, along with the guys that we already talked about, the veterans, and Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins, and now the 3rd string tailback getting some work.
Yeah, we're kind of used to this, right? I mean, when you get invited to play at Ohio State, you bring some credentials.
That's right. He's got 21 yards and a touchdown on his 5 carries. So he'll go home happy anytime score a touchdown and then get to play a lot. And here he goes. Almost broke through there, but lost the ball at the end, but he covered it himself. Peoples, true freshman out of San Antonio, 5'10", about 200.
Look at that type of move, the spin and the balance. Remember, he might even heard the interview with Archie that he ran for 200-some yards as a freshman. Peoples on the right team. I mean, Quinshon Judkins had a big year as a true freshman. These guys are ready young.
Sam Williams-Dixon now at the tailback spot. Here's a play fake. Devin Brown is going to air it long. Man out there, no flag yet. There's not going to be one. Jaden Ballard, the intended receiver.
And by the way, when Ohio State was able to make that one first down and get off the goal line, Ohio State has substituted an offensive line.
And a little more to the middle of the field, and that might have been a touchdown.
That was the #1 rule that your old partner used to just preach every time I talked to him. Bob Greasy goes, you never want to throw a post putt beyond the outside of a post to a receiver. Awesome across that field.
Well, they call it a post for a reason.
Yep,
down the middle where the post is.
Yep. Got to get that ball in front of him.
Travion Henderson, 65 yards. One of the plays that just goes kind of unnoticed. Watch this.
I noticed. Yeah. Watch this one. Oh,
man. Talk about a blitz pickup on Melvin Spriggs.
And I'm telling you, if you're an NFL scout, you know how you can run. You watch him do that, you go, all right, I'm turning the projector on.
I've seen enough.
I've seen enough. Guy willing to do that, he can play on my team.
3rd and 6. Devin Brown throws the out, too far out in front of Ballard again, and it's 4th down. So we haven't seen a lot of punting from Ohio State today. The guy we thought was going to actually be the punter, asked Coach Day about it in the meeting the other day. Nick Lardy would have been the biggest punter in the country at 6'7", 255, and he said he just hasn't had that great a week of practice, so we're going to go with Joe McGuire. And Joe's done a nice job on the couple that he's had. 4th down here.
You could feel the TV cameras coming on.
Yeah, there's pressure. And fair catch, taken around the 23-yard line. So Akron's got a couple of timeouts to work with and 3:10 to go in the game. Said have that good chili cooking right outside our trucks. I'll see you next Saturday in the pregame.
Can't wait to go back. Really hope we get to visit all those friends we had back there.
Yep. Coach Ferentz will be along with us.
He'll be on the sideline.
Yeah, he's going to be a good spot on the sideline with us and in our meetings. Yeah, he has this weekend off if you missed that. Little one-game suspension thing. So we're down to our 3rd quarterback, Braden Ragau. And he's going to flare it. No, he flared it right into the... And it's intercepted. Picked off on the fly. Running down is Gabe Powers for another defensive touchdown. Edric Houston, I think, is the guy that got a hand on it. And then Powers did the rest. So the turnovers and the big impact plays on defense that Ohio State's been looking for, they got one here from their backup guys.
Yeah, backup quarter, and it snapped off the helmet of the offensive lineman, I believe, in front of him. Got to bring that ball up a little higher, and that's what caused the play.
Gabe Powers with a pick 6. Nice job.
Yeah, nice to go up and reach it at the high point. Opportunity to score in the shoe. And the extra man that ran out there made it a 12-man defense.
Yeah, didn't need McCoy back out there. I think that's who the late addition was.
Watch it skim off the helmet of the Ohio State defensive end.
Yep. Edric Houston got, that's a way to use your head, Edric.
Exactly.
Then Powers, great concentration for the sophomore out of Marysville, Ohio. And he's going, man, I'm looking at the scoreboard while I'm scoring.
Watching myself run.
That's right. Didn't think I was going to get one of those today.
And think about it. I mean, these are the guys that dream about playing in this stadium.
Absolutely.
He gets one of those.
So the extra point's going to be a little farther out by Jaden Fielding. No problem, same result. You can see some of the folks have headed for air conditioning, but a lot of them stuck around to see Gabe Powers score another defensive touchdown for the Buckeyes.
And if you're from Marysville, Ohio, you grew up on the Buckeyes.
You're not kidding. Joe Moorhead knew he was in a hornet's nest today, and he's got a couple other ones in that first month.
Yeah, you got Rutgers, Colga game they should obviously win, at South Carolina, at Rutgers, at Ohio State. Here's the game, obviously. This game right here, that could turn their season where they could get in the upper edge of the MAC and find one. It's going to be tough. You play 3 big-time schools to get to 50-50, but the chance to do it is at Ohio.
I think a lot of it, at least early, is going to depend on Ben Finley's ribs or shoulder or sternum or whatever.
And that Ohio game, just to say how key it is, Akron has lost 6 in a row against Ohio and 15 of the last 16. That's the key game on their schedule.
They're the guy that they need back. Hopefully they'll get it back. Don't know if I've seen a quarterback play tougher than he did today and as long and as many hits as he took.
Well, I don't know if I've seen one take that many hits in such a short span of time.
Yeah, no kidding. That first series of the third quarter was pretty rough. So Akron will come out to the 25, and we're assuming that we'll see Ruggow again. Here's what we're talking about. Ben Finley, if you didn't see some of the earlier part of our game.
That was the first play of the game, I believe. Or at least his first attempt to run. And it just kept piling up.
So Braden Ruggow has thrown one pass and it went the wrong way. His coach told him, as Gary said, you got to get a little air into that. You don't throw it into the defensive lineman's head. And they're going to keep it on the ground instead here. And getting the corner and getting about 5 is Marquise Williams. Seeing some action in the zip backfield.
You know, with this new television package for the Big Ten, it looks like, I was looking at the schedule, it looks like Ohio State could be on either Fox at noon, us at 3:30, or with NBC with Todd and Noah Eagle. 10 out of the 12 games this year for nationally televised.
Well, this one is, and there's about 2. Oh, those last few get tough. This is going to be the 53 games now, a streak of 53 games that Ohio State has not lost to a team from Ohio. They did get tied way back in the day, 1924. But other than that, and this being their 25th straight home opening win. Last time they lost a home opener was in '99 to Miami. The Hurricanes, did they win today against Florida? I didn't see the last score. Anyway, 2 minutes left. Rago's going to take the handoff and they go inside. And nice defensive play, no gain on the play. We were talking about upcoming games and just the month of September, some of the things you normally wouldn't see.
For sure.
Texas and Michigan, the 14th. Alabama at Madtown against Wisconsin. USC and Michigan, we'll see that one here on CBS.
How about that one? That'll be fun. Wisconsin, obviously USC. But that will be the first big game with the new schools entering the Big Ten. That'll be fun to do.
Yeah. A game you would normally only see on January 1st in Pasadena.
Exactly.
And the Zips just keep it on the ground here as we're going to wind down the last minute.
You know, I know there's a lot of pressure on Ohio State. It feels good to win these games. We talked about it. But when you won 11 games or plus, now don't count the COVID year,
right.
11 straight years, the biggest upset in college football would be if Ohio State does not make the playoffs.
And of course, there's 12 teams in this year. Akron played their hearts out, and still the emotions of the day get to you.
Yep, they should be proud. They've gotten better. I believe they'll be better after this game. Seems like they've stayed relatively healthy. We'll see about their quarterback.
If Brandon Ennis gets his hands on this, I hope there's no blocks in the back. Because, he's going to call fair catch. Never mind. Back at the 13-yard line.
Yeah, I think that was on orders that time.
Yeah.
Nobody even tried to block for Ohio State.
And he's had a good return day, even though it doesn't count in the stats. He's had some beauties. They just all were called back.
This is a fun game. This is a game that pressure really was never there after maybe a quarter and a half. But we've seen a lot of football. There'll be one or two games where that fourth quarter will come up and number 18 will have to make a few plays.
You're not kidding.
And that's when to win a championship, there'll be a couple clutch games where he has to produce.
Today produced without a lot of pressure for sure. And now Devin Brown's going to kneel down. And that will do it as the Buckeyes are going to win it 52-6 here at home. Good start to the season. Good start for that guy for sure, Will Howard. And Joe Moorhead's Zips will have better days if they can stay healthy. They obviously don't have the depth that Ohio State does, but they're going to give some MAC teams some problems.